oh, oh. Oh, oh.
Remember Kesha had a song called TikTok? TikTok, don't stop.
Make the party speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight. Tick tock on the clock, or the party start. Oh, 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 oh.
Oh. I remember that song. Hello, guys.
Hey, everybody. Oh, yeah. Ooh, Sabby's matching the motif. Isn't that lovely?
No, I didn't plan
it. Are you sure?
I'm sure. I do have a lot of shirts that are this color, though, so.
Nice. Well, you know, your favorite color is pink, so that makes sense. Yes. It tracks.
That's right. I'm a pinky.
Yeah. Pinky and he got pretty bright. Sorry. Let me stop. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sabby and Jaybe show on Revolutionary Blackout Network. It is so good to see you on this beautiful Thursday. Today is March 23rd, 2023. Just to let you guys know, the Sabby and Jaybe show is every single Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can also find Sabby Sabs on Fridays at 6 p.m. on RBN. And then you can find me, yours truly, on Sundays at 1 p.m. here on RBN. So good to see all of you here. By the way, while you're here, also subscribe to our Substack if you guys want to get some email notifications. And also thank you to the people on Patreon as well. For without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. And if you guys would like, then you guys can also help us with the fundraising for our graphics designer, Erin. She does an amazing job. If you guys seen the thumbnail for this one, then you guys saw that was all Erin. So help us give Erin a living wage. So Venmo at Revolutionary Blackout, and then Cash App $ Mutual Aid Forever, because Erin loves the kitties. Meow.
You said Erin.
Thank God I didn't say Aaron. You want thin ice, Aaron?
Oh man.
As usual, I'm going to go through the chat and say hello. However, I'm going to have to do it we're running on a time crunch, so I'm going to do it like half the time I typically do. So if I miss anybody, I do apologize, but we are on time constraints. By the way, thank you so much, Steve, for becoming a RBN member. Thank you so much. Clap it up. All right, we have whoever saying I'm not missing the beginning of the stream this time. Damn it. Good to see you. All right. Jennifer Lee, good to see you as well. Welcome to the stream. Who else do we have? We have Dabby Dab says, what's up, RBN fam? Don't forget to show the like button some love. We have Sean Miller and Chap saying, you're who? You're everybody. Brandy Bray says, hello, everyone. Hello, Brandy.
Oh, dear.
Right. Liz McKay says, LOL. Yeah, good to see you. The Traveler has traveled in here saying, hi, everyone. I'm looking forward to this show. Good to see you, The Traveler. All right, Sabby and Jaybe coming in saying, Sabby and Jaybe. All right. Who else I didn't get to say hello to? We have Eric coming in saying, is it Aaron or Aaron? It's Aaron with an E, but I was joking about the Aaron. Just let you know.
Aaron.
Carrie Scott says, we need free healthcare like the fire department. Absolutely. Just making sure I miss anybody. Okay. Also, we have Samuel. I said, that sucks. Whoever, the only way I can keep my friends and family is by going along with their capitalist BS half the time. Yeah, you're speaking facts. Mm-hmm. The Jam Mom says, Sean, that is my thing. LOL. we got an argument in the chat. All right. And let me check on The Rock. All right. Nobody yet? Okay. So, one more. Tony Bananas says, greetings, comrades. Good to see you.
Tony.
All right. Now, TikTok. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I watched the congressional hearing. I watched probably a good 2.5 hours of it. Right? They pissed me off. I'm telling you, they got me so mad. I almost look. I wanted to rage quit, but I wasn't playing a video game. Like, these people, yo. All I got to do is just stop. Look.
I just think this is a huge mistake if they were to ban TikTok, because first of all, I don't really think this is about their fear of China possibly using TikTok to spy on the US. I don't think it's about that at all. I think it's about the US government wanting to hurt China economically. I think that's what this is really about. TikTok is huge globally. It is huge. I mean, in my honest opinion, I think TikTok is bigger than Instagram. I can't remember the last time I was on Instagram. That's the thing. I don't even really post on Instagram anymore. It's rare for me to do so. But I'll always go on TikTok to see the videos, because some people have funny videos, some people have serious videos, but I like watching the videos on TikTok. And I feel like it would be a huge mistake for the US to ban TikTok in the United States. If they really want to upset, like, especially Gen Z and teenagers, ban TikTok in the US and see how well that goes over. Yeah. Not to mention that's ending some people's careers, JB. You know, there are some people that made a career off of TikTok.
Yeah. That's like banning YouTube.
Yeah, and I mean, like even like the dances, like that's kind of what people mainly know it for, but there's other content on there as well. But even like the dances on TikTok, I mean, that's not really as popular on YouTube as it is on TikTok.
Yeah, it's not.
Even YouTube is trying to compete with TikTok. That's why they're pushing those YouTube shorts.
Yep, absolutely. And this is why Instagram is pushing their stories, you know, on Instagram. And then now Facebook has it. The thing and the crazy part is TikTok in the US alone has 150 million users.
Yep.
That's about half the country. Half of this country is on TikTok.
I'm telling you, I think it's bigger than Instagram. I'm not kidding, because like everybody else is trying to follow that model. Like the number of people that have contacted me via email saying, would you like to create YouTube shorts? And, you know, we do this anyway. Like we just upload our, you know, we'll take a little clip and then just upload it as a short. But it's like every day now someone emails me and says, do you need help creating YouTube shorts? And I'm like, man, you guys are really pushing this. And then YouTube changed their monetization policy to include shorts as a part of monetization. That was not included before, because a video used to have to be a certain amount of minutes for you to actually monetize the video. So like those short vids didn't count. But now YouTube changed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I find myself watching a lot of YouTube shorts. I gravitate between YouTube shorts and TikTok, right?
Yep.
And the thing is that I have learned some interesting things on TikTok. And a lot. See, the one thing about this whole congressional hearing was the dangers of TikTok. TikTok's so dangerous. And I'm like, the internet is dangerous. What the hell are you talking about? The roads are dangerous.
They can say that about any app, JB.
Yes.
They can say that about any app that's on a smartphone.
Yeah. And here's the thing. This is why I was getting so mad. And I'm like, wait, there's not one person who really knows about this app that's in that congressional hearing. Nobody. They literally had to go to their kids to ask about it, right? And here we are, we're millennials. We know about it. Not one millennial congressperson on that committee. Christine
Case
says,
in point.
Yeah, some people do. There are over 5 million businesses on TikTok that advertise their businesses. There was one guy who actually does taste testing, and when he goes to a restaurant and taste tests, and then he makes a recommendation, their business shoots through the roof because that guy makes a recommendation, and boom, they start getting more business. So TikTok is literally changing lives here.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, this is a whole new wave. I can tell you what the real issue is, and you touched on part of it, but there's another side, there's another piece I want to touch on, but I'll touch on that in a little bit. But they are really trying to take this app down. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, like, this is really about free speech. That's all this is really coming down to, in my opinion.
But TikTok has a very strong censorship apparatus, I would say. And I say this because there are certain things that we can upload or say on YouTube that we cannot say on TikTok. TikTok's algorithm is far more strict, I would say, or their censorship is more strict. And we found this out. Like, look at someone like Midwestern Marks. Like, how many times has TikTok like taken down their channel? Like, TikTok is very strict, you guys. Like, it's not as strict, or is very strict, but YouTube can be strict as well. But YouTube is not even as strict as TikTok is. Like, if you go onto TikTok and you start talking about communism, they're more likely to take it down. You can still talk about it on YouTube. Even the language, you got to be really careful.
Here it is, Mint Press News, right? This is an article that was actually shown to me by Eddie Liger-Smith from Midwestern Marks. The NATO to TikTok pipeline, why TikTok is employing so many national security agents. If TikTok is such a danger, then why in the hell do we have national security agents that are overseeing some of the safety on TikTok? See, that's the thing. And this is the crazy part about it. It's not really about the safety of TikTok, because if this was about safety, they would be going after Instagram. They'd be going after Facebook. They'd be going after Snapchat, because some of these, because guess what? They're talking about all these different challenges that people died from. And I'm like, okay, but what about the challenges that happen on Snapchat? Nobody's talking nothing, saying nothing, diddly squat about Snapchat. And yet, they're not saying anything about it. They're not saying anything about YouTube, right? They're not saying anything about these challenges that pop up on them. But yet, TikTok, why? And then another thing that kept coming up during the hearing, the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, blah, 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 blah. They kept bringing that up, hammering it home. The crazy part is that, hold up, let me take this down. Let me take this down really quick so y'all can see my face. Get off me. Let me tell y'all something. The kids are not scared of communism anymore.
Nope.
That's why they're afraid. That's why. Because people like us, like Rome, CJ, Nick, people like Midwestern Marks, and I follow a bunch of commies on TikTok, and their videos go viral.
Yep.
And it's because of that, because TikTok is not so stringent on that. That's why they're also upset. They don't care.
And those short kind of vids, like, I mean, you can watch that in like 2 minutes. I think 3 minutes might be the max for a TikTok video. So you can watch that very quickly and absorb that information very quickly. And by the time they even come back and say, okay, we're going to remove this video, or we found this video to be in violation of such and such policy, too late. 1,000 people have already seen it.
Yeah. Look, Midwestern Marks have 150,000 followers? Over 150,000 followers. Their videos were going viral. You have PSL. They have some videos that are going viral.
Yes.
Right? You have some easier TikTok accounts that
for
are
people who don't. Yeah, for people who are not aware, like, it's easier to go viral on TikTok than it is on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know a YouTuber that I think she has she does vlogs, but I think she has almost 2,000 subs or whatever, and she's been doing this for a while. But she set up a TikTok account and she went viral like that. Millions of views. So yeah, it's very different than what you get like on YouTube or like Facebook, so to speak.
Yeah. So this article, this is from Alan McLeod, says Culver City, California. As the bloody conflict in Ukraine continues to escalate, so does the online propaganda war between Russia and the West. A prime example of this is the White House directly briefing influencers on popular social media app TikTok about the war and how to cover it. Stopping right there. The United States literally had TikTok influencers come to the White House to tell them how to talk about the war in Ukraine. And they want to talk about how, the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, is going to be infiltrating and trying to gear our elections. What about the TikTok influencers that are being told by the government, their propaganda about how the war in Ukraine is going? When in reality, they're spinning it according to what they want, when in reality, it's not what's actually going on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. And then you have some of these influencers that might be told to turn off their duets and turn off their stitches whenever they do this, so nobody can rebuff what they actually say. Because that does happen. And yet they're complaining about, China. And yet look what the United States is doing. Continuing, it says with the app estimated to have around 70 million US users, that actually doubled. White House has keenly aware of this impact. We recognize this is a critically important avenue in the way the American public is finding out about the latest. So we want to make sure that you have the latest information from an authoritative source. So TikTok itself has taken steps to align itself with U.S. government policy, deleting more than 320,000 Russian accounts and removing at least 41,000 videos peddling misinformation about the war. In addition to this, it has placed warning labels marked Russian state-controlled media on 49 accounts linked to the Russian government. Like other big social media platforms, it has not done the same to Western state-owned outlets such as the BBC, RTE, and CBC.
Of course not. Sorry, go ahead. Of course not. Well, I was going to say, of course not. Like we were talking about this. I've probably talked about this a couple of times, but like China has, when we look at the top largest, banks, the top 10 banks in the world, China has, like, I think it's 5 in the top 10, or 5 in the top 5, actually. You don't even see a US bank until you get to number 6, and that's JP Morgan. And it didn't used to always be that way. So what people have to understand is that economically, China is a huge competitor, and the United States doesn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if TikTok, if it was an app that was invented here in the United States, they would not have an issue with this.
Yeah. And my thing is actually, this is a good clip that you sent me. Thank you very much. But this is crazy. This next paragraph says, all this is a far cry from 2020 when President Donald Trump signed an order that would shut down TikTok within 45 days unless it was sold to an American buyer. The Chinese-owned platform, the U.S. government alleged, posed a severe national security threat to the United States. Although TikTok is a Chinese company, it is, ironically, completely blocked inside China. Their domestic market being served by a sister app, Douyin, which functions in a similar way, but is separated by the Great Firewall. Thus, there is no contact or overlap between the two. After Douyin's success in China, its parent company, ByteDance, launched a global platform.
That's right. Yeah, my students from China had explained this to me as well. Like, so people have to understand that, like, they do have certain firewalls there, so they don't have access to some of the same apps that we do in America.
Okay. It says ByteDance first reached a deal to sell TikTok to Microsoft, then to Oracle and Walmart. Yet the new Biden administration, without explanation, quietly dropped the sale requirement indefinitely in early 2021, saying in a court filing it had begun a review of security concerns cited by the Trump administration. That decision left buyers and onlookers alike perplexed. Yet, studying the backgrounds of dozens of key TikTok employees brought on since 2020, scares suggest instead of destroying TikTok, perhaps U.S. national security state has co-opted it instead.
There you go.
So it says, since 2020, there has been a wave of former spooks, spies, and mandarins appointed to influential positions within TikTok, particularly around content and policy, some of whom, on paper at least, appear unqualified for such roles. For example, while simultaneously being the content policy lead for TikTok Canada, Alexander Corbeil is also the vice president of the NATO Association of Canada, a NATO-funded organization chaired by former Canadian Prime Minister of Defense David Collinet. In order to join TikTok, Corbeil left his job at the SecDev Foundation, a U.S. State Department-funded security think tank. Corbeil's work focused on Middle Eastern security and in particular on the war in Syria and what NATO's role should be. So this basically shows that there are key people within TikTok that are part of the national security state. So my question is, what in the hell is the concern? Because you already got your people in there.
They don't want China to succeed economically. That's a big part of what this is about. You know, I still remember the Facebook hearing that Congress had with Mark Zuckerberg. And again, it was a similar situation where a lot of the congressmen and women didn't even understand how Facebook worked. You know, some of the questions they were asking him, I was like, oh my God, have they ever used Facebook? They just seem really confused. But, you know, this goes back to the issue with capitalism, the fact that when people talk about free market and they say free markets are great, or we love to have a free market, the problem is the free market isn't fair. It's not fair to everyone. And so, yes, there are some people that are going to succeed with a free market. And then there's going to be other people that are going to be at the bottom, no matter how you try to reform it. There's always going to be someone at the bottom of the free market. And then you're going to have people fighting over products and who gets to produce a product in what country and what time. And that's another thing that's going on here, too, as well. It's just like nobody in the U.S. decided to invent TikTok.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is, I mean, according to the free market, look, you snooze, you lose. Guess what? Somebody in China decided to create it, and now they got the market. So guess what? Isn't it the free market?
Is it? I mean, it's free for, I feel like, those who can afford it. It's not free for everybody. That's what it seems like to me. But I think that, again, placing restrictions on certain businesses and telling them where they can be and where they can't be, it's capitalism.
Yeah. So let me play this video that you share with me, because I want to make sure I get this in. Let's see.
Case study QB.
Case study QB. I also have another video from him, by the way.
Whoop whoop. Case
whoop,
doing
whoop.
the thing.
Okay. Let's go.
New York Congressman Jamal Bowman was one of several Democrats who joined TikTok creators for a rally at the Capitol. He suggested TikTok is being unfairly targeted.
In terms of TikTok's behavior and its risk to national security, it poses about the same threat that companies like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter pose. So let's not marginalize and target TikTok.
New York Congressman Jamal Bowman was one of several Democrats who joined TikTok creators for a rally at.
I'm gonna be real with you. I actually agree with Jamal Bowman on this one.
Yeah, he's right about that. I mean, he's right on something now. Yeah, he's absolutely right about that. It's like, obviously TikTok is being singled out here. And it is more popular than Facebook. Like Facebook is kind of like falling off. Like, to be honest with you, like not a lot of younger people in particular are passionate about Facebook the way that they were when it first came out. Like, remember how we were about Facebook when it first came out in like '08? And I felt like a couple years ago, Facebook was a little bit more popular, but people have been moving away from Facebook.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Facebook is really for the older people just to connect now.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, honestly, like my Facebook account mainly exists because it helped me, get back in touch with people that I went to high school with that I hadn't seen in like years. And now I just use it like mainly just to post like things that we stream, and that's it. Like videos, and that's pretty much it. But I used to use it a lot more back in the day, but now it's just like,
yeah, I mean, Facebook is where I met my boyfriend. So,
Oh, Jaybe.
I know. But yeah, so I mean, that's the thing, that's one thing I am grateful for. But yeah,
It's
these things
lost its appeal. It's
Yeah.
lost its appeal. It's kind of stale to me, like, to be honest. But I think the engagement value on Facebook it started to decrease over time. Maybe that's why they laid off over 20,000 people recently, because altogether, because didn't they have 2 layoffs? They just had this recent one, and there was one
in November.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the next video. And then
was that the end of that one?
Huh?
I don't think that one finished, did it?
Yeah, it did. It was only 30 seconds. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, Ro.
Row, your joke. Sorry. Let me stop. Okay, let's get to this. Oh gosh. Ro, I'm a TLDR. Ro disagrees with Jamal Bowman. Let's go.
Of course.
The Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California. He sits on the newly created House Select Committee on China. TikTok's parent company has offices in his district. Congressman, thank you for coming in. So this declaration from TikTok that ByteDance is not an agent of China or any other country, also talking about this firewall for American data, protecting it from unauthorized foreign access. You don't seem to trust that statement that we've heard previously and heard just now from the ByteDance CEO, the TikTok CEO. Why?
I don't, because I don't think China recognizes a truly independent private sector. The state intervenes in almost every company. We've seen this in how they treated Jack Ma. Even if a company is independent today, if Xi Jinping changes his mind, next day they can appropriate the data or appropriate the assets of the company.
Like Twitter? I'm sorry. Hang on. Has anybody checked on the Twitter files? I know, Sabby, I know you have.
Yes. So, I mean, should we get rid of every platform then, if that's the logic that he's going to use?
Like, right? Because according to the Twitter files, the FBI and many other government agencies have been, basically dictating to Twitter who they should and shouldn't have on their platform.
Right.
Like, sir, the call's coming from inside the house. What are you talking about?
Maybe instead of going after like the owner, of TikTok and going after the company in general, maybe they should go after these government agencies that are, overplaying their hand here and meddling in all of these platforms. Like that's really where the problem is. And that's something that the Twitter files, I think, really exposed, is like the problem is not so much the application itself. The problem is these government agencies intervening and telling these applications who they should have on and who they shouldn't have on, and what information should be shared. So I think that's the thing. Like, I'm seeing this gentleman here, Mr. Xiao Chu. Like, why is he even there? Why does he even have to be there? This is ridiculous.
Yeah. He was there for 4 hours.
We have to be clear. They need to sell it to an American company And by the way, China does not treat American companies with any respect. I mean, they're far more restrictive than we are on them. And so this is common sense to me. Sell it to an American company and let's move on.
What about what's being proposed this morning as Natasha was laying?
I just wanted to add here, like, I don't like this idea of sell it to an American company and then just move on. Like, who are you to come and take someone else's company away? And two, if you're concerned about economic security in the United States, if you're concerned about the fact that we don't have the type of made in America products that we used to have in this country, well, then you have other people, other politicians to blame for sending jobs overseas to China in the first damn place. This is part of the reason why their economy was able to thrive, because the U.S. said, take these jobs, China, and make things for us in a cheaper way. Because, again, capitalism and greed, because people were like, we can make more money that way and pay less people. And so now it almost feels like they want to fault China because China is succeeding economically. But the United States government gave them that hand to play in the first place. They gave American jobs to China. They let China make different parts like auto parts, etc. And it's like now they want to punish China for being successful. That's what this feels like to me.
Damn, Sabs. You ruined the surprise.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was going to get into that, and then you already beat him to it.
I'm sorry. Let's go ahead.
I love it. Oh, man. Let's let Roe bury himself even more.
Hang out. The CEO saying that they're in the process of transitioning to store all U.S. data on U.S. soil and servers here. Would that do anything to pacify your concerns?
No, I just don't understand what we get from this. I mean, what does America lose by forcing the sale to an American company? It's not like we want massive Chinese companies to invest in the United States. We have plenty of places we can go for foreign direct investment. We can go to Europe, we can go to India, we can go to Japan, South Korea. China has been totally unreciprocal. We have a $450 billion trade deficit with China. They have taken so much of our manufacturing base. They don't play fair. And now they may have access to data of millions of our young people.
No, they did not. I have to reframe this. China did not take our manufacturing. You gave it to them. You gave it to them. If you're concerned about TikTok accessing or China accessing young people's data, then that goes for every other app. Every other app. Facebook does it. Instagram does it. Snapchat does it. Twitter does it. But you don't see them trying to take them down.
Yeah. And here's the crazy part, right? This whole thing, he's making it seem like that they just took our manufacturing. That's like me having a bucket of Legos and then I build something really small and then I break it down and I'm like, you know what? I don't really want this anymore. Here, and I give the bucket to somebody else and then they build this big, beautiful Lego castle and I'm like, they stole it from me. I gave it away. Your corporations that you honestly invest with through your stocks, they gave those away. So guess what? Guess who did something with it? China. And guess who's making out like wonderfully with it? It's China. Because you and the corporations gave it away. And so you guys didn't pass laws to make it so that we couldn't, send our jobs overseas. Nope. You guys did it. Why? Because these companies gave you and your colleagues kickbacks. They gave you bribes, which you call donations, into your coffers. And guess what? You guys allowed it to happen. And then guess what? Now I'm trying to build itself up. And now you guys are like, oh my God, China. When in reality, y'all could have just prevented that from happening by keeping the jobs here. Well,
right. Exactly. This is really interesting, though. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Don't you roll no good. Don't you roll no good. Sorry. Let me stop.
I saw that the TikTok CEO said, well, they're not a majority are over 18, but a majority maybe between 18 and 24. He's parsing numbers. This needs to be an American company that controls this.
China has responded for the first time to the administration's ultimatum that either sell to an American company, as you're talking about, or be banned. And China, the Chinese government, a spokesperson for the Chinese government told the Wall Street Journal today this: if the news is true of a forced sale, China will firmly oppose it. So what do you do then?
But what are they going to do? They oppose almost every American company going into China. They have tariffs on all our exports.
So do you then support a ban?
Well, if they don't sell, if they don't have a sale of it, then yes. But I think we can force the sale. I think that is something that the government can do. Our government.
Should the United States force Chinese companies? I'm sorry. Should China force U.S. companies to sell to China so that China can, have those companies there?
Exactly. Like, let's switch it around and see how people will respond to that. I'm pretty sure the U.S. government wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
This is that America first mindset, though.
Yeah. And the thing is that, and I'll play his opening statement, Mr. Xiao's opening statement, but he makes a lot of things abundantly clear. And one of the things that he makes abundantly clear is that TikTok is a private company.
Right. So how can the U.S. just take a private company?
That's a good question. Let's finish this up.
Government can do, and we have plenty of technology companies that could then develop the platform. Look, I think that millions of people are on TikTok, and they want access to that kind of a technology, but there's no reason that an American company can't do that.
But they didn't get to it first. They got to it first.
And also still an American who is really good at building apps can still make some type of alternative to TikTok if they wanted to. That can still happen. Okay, so two things can exist at once, actually. If they wanted to, they can make an alternative to TikTok. Just like there was the iPhone and Samsung made an alternative to that. And they were like, well, let us try to make something similar using different hardware. And so they can do the same thing. This can still happen now, people. This can still happen now.
They call themselves capitalists. They call themselves free market capitalists, and they're not even applying the free market. Like, if you don't like TikTok, then make something better, fool. Like, what the hell?
And this is what honestly, like a really good, a smart businessman, this is what they would do. This has been happening for years. Like, what do people do? Like, they kind of see something that's already out there, and then they think, how can I piggyback off of that, but make it better and make it my own? This is how things have worked. Businesses have done this for years. Like in this country. I mean, it's just like my dad always says, nothing is ever really purely new. The idea came from somewhere. So it's like, especially when you talk about technology.
Yeah. Like, how many brands of potato chips we have? How many brands of phones we have? How many brands of peanut butter we have? And yet you guys see TikTok and you're like, oh, we don't like it. So make another one.
Same thing with YouTube. What did Rumble and Rockfin and Odyssey, what did they do? They were like, they studied YouTube and they said, how can we do this, something similar to this, but make it different? And that's what they did. So, I mean, it's just like, come on.
Like, dear God, they are just, geez.
Your Democratic colleague, Jamal Bowman, he is out saying before this hearing, saying that TikTok is being targeted unfairly and that it's in all of this is whipping up, in his words, xenophobic anti-China rhetoric. Let me play what the congressman said in a press conference yesterday.
In terms of TikTok's behavior and Instagram.
This part.
He says they don't, and the CEO said the same thing, they don't gather any more information than any of the other social media companies do. What do you say to that?
Well, the congressman's larger point about needing a reform of social media is correct. I mean, 1/3 of American teenage girls have contemplated suicide, according to the New York Times. One of those reasons is social media. We need to do.
Wait. Hold up. My question is, why haven't you guys addressed this in magazines when me and Sabby were growing up when we were kids? Because you guys want to talk about teenage girls and unrealistic body standards, well, and things like that. Well, what about magazines when we were growing up, right?
Yep.
But y'all don't talk about that.
Same issue. Those teen magazines. Yeah, we had the same issue where girls felt like they were being sold body images that weren't realistic and that they couldn't achieve those body images. So that was an issue back then as well. But I don't think, again, I think Rokan is trying to pivot here, and he does this often in interviews. I think he's trying to pivot from what Jamal Bowman said, which was all these other apps are also accessing people's data. And he didn't mention that. He's going to talk about how social media harms young girls. That's not even what she said to him.
Yeah. And the problem is like, okay, you guys didn't ban 17 magazine. You guys didn't ban Rolling Stone. You didn't ban Cosmo. You didn't ban any of these magazines. And yet they're still around, right?
And most of them just died out because of the internet, because people started to just read those articles online instead of buying an actual magazine.
Yep. It's facts.
Do far more to protect children and young people from the negative impacts of social media, and that needs to be broad-based. But TikTok portrays a unique concern, and that is that they ultimately are tied to the Chinese Communist Party. They're at the.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it. There you go.
It's the communism part.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Because nobody cares about Twitter falling into South African hands, because now it's owned by a South African. Right. Nobody cares about that. Right?
No, I think it's exactly like you said, Jaybe. It's the communism part. They're afraid that message is what is spreading.
Yeah. Come to find out. See, here's the thing. You don't need communists in China in order to endorse communism in the United States. You have capitalism to thank for that, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear God.
The control of that party. Now, maybe the Chinese Communist Party right now is not intervening, but they could choose to intervene at any moment. And I don't think it necessarily be totally sinister where they take all the data. But what if they subtly try to have videos on TikTok that are mitigating the human rights concerns with the Uyghurs? What if they have rhetoric on TikTok or videos that are making their claims over Taiwan or islands seep through? We don't want another country to have that kind of influence on so many of our young people.
But the what if, he doesn't even know if those things exist on TikTok. He's saying, what if? And so if those videos don't exist, it's just like it's the whataboutism, JB. It's just like, well, what if this? What if that? We can say those things about Facebook. We can say those things about YouTube. We could say, what if YouTube does da-da-da? What if Facebook does da-da-da? So we just shut everything down because of a what if? Like, he is not making any sense there. And she really needs to push back on him a lot harder.
Yeah, definitely. There was another, because I don't want us to run out of time. But there's another video that I also want to get to as well. And I also have some TikTok videos, but you got to see some of the BS that they have been spewing during this hearing. I'm telling you right now, Sabby, you may need to. You got any alcohol with you, Sabby? Because you may want to take a swig.
No, I have water.
So, all right. Hold your horses. So this is the CEO in his beginning statement. So let's get this out of the way.
Now, I would also like to talk about national security concerns that you have raised, that we take very, very seriously. Let me start by addressing a few misconceptions about ByteDance, of which we are a subsidiary. ByteDance is not owned or controlled by the Chinese government. It's a private company. 60% of the company is owned by global institutional investors. 20% is owned by the founder, and 20% owned by employees around the world. ByteDance has 5 board members. 3 of them are American. Now, TikTok itself is not available in mainland China. We're headquartered in Los Angeles and in Singapore, and we have 7,000 employees in the US today. Still, we have heard important concerns about the potential for unwanted foreign access to US data and potential manipulation of the TikTok US ecosystem. Our approach has never been to dismiss or trivialize any of these concerns. We have addressed them with real action. Now, that's what we've been doing for the last 2 years, building what amounts to a firewall that seals off protected US user data from unauthorized foreign access. The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel. We call this initiative Project Texas. That's where Oracle is headquartered. Today, US TikTok data is stored by default in Oracle servers. Only vetted personnel operating in a new company called TikTok US Data Security can control access to this data. Now, additionally, we have plans for this company to report to an independent American board with strong security credentials. Now, there's still some work to do. We have legacy US data sitting in our servers in Virginia and in Singapore. We're deleting those, and we expect that to be complete this year. When that is done, all protected US data will be under the protection of US law and under the control of the US-led security team. This eliminates the concern that some of you have shared with me that TikTok user data can be subject to Chinese law.
I feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm going to bring up an example that I know a lot of people use, which is Spotify. Spotify is not an American company. Spotify is a Swedish company. Mm-hmm. I don't see them asking Spotify to testify. They could also access our data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now this is going to be the frustrating one. Oh gosh, this guy pissed me off. There was a bunch of them that pissed me off, but this guy was just, this guy right here. I'm going to try to purse my words very carefully. Critical thought is not his strong suit. Let's go.
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
Okay, I'd appreciate it if you can answer that. Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
What?
The user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
This is the type of questions that I'm like, what in the hell? Sabby, what the hell? What the hell?
So, I'm sorry, but if someone is using an app and they turn on their Wi-Fi, that applies to every single app that you have on your phone. That's the dumbest question I've ever heard. So now is he trying to say that, oh, they could be accessing people's data because, a user may turn on their Wi-Fi? That's everything. That's everything, you guys.
Here's my
That doesn't
problem.
make any sense. Look, I'm gonna tell you something really quick. Any electronic device, like your computer, your cell phone, any of these devices that you have plugged into your wall, your information, your data can be stolen that way. Mm-hmm. Did you know that? Yeah. Talk to people that have researched cybersecurity. I used to work for a faculty member, and that was his specialty, was cybersecurity. And he used to give these presentations about how data is accessed, and it's not just through Wi-Fi. Anytime you plug your phone into the wall to charge it, your data can be accessed that way as well. That goes for any of these electronic appliances that you plug in. This is so stupid.
My problem is that these are the same people that are they're actually elected officials. This. Wait, hold up. Let's go back. Hang on. Yo, is this your king? Is this your king? Really? Mr. Hudson? This is your guy? This is your dude. Guaranteed this dude got a smartphone and he don't know this?
This is very strange. And it's not even up to the owner of the app. It's up to the app store, right?
Yeah.
So I have Android, so we have Google Play. I don't know what you guys have on. Whoever has, if you have iPhone, I don't know what you have. But
absolutely.
You have Apple. Okay. So I'm sorry. Even when you download these apps, there's this detailed description that a lot of people don't read. Mm-hmm. There's this option a lot of times now when you download an app, say, do you give this app permission to access your data?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, this is not a secret.
Yeah. There are terms and conditions that you have to approve of before you can use the app. And the thing is that this guy has an app and he knows it, but he's playing dumb, real dumb right now. Because the thing is, he knows this stuff. How many terms and conditions that he just blindly scrolled past, click yes, and approve and start using the app? Hell, Google has terms and conditions.
This is just so, it's blatant, Jaybe. This is blatant. Like, I don't know how the American people can't sit back and watch this and say, this is really, really unfair.
Yeah. Gosh. I have one more. And damn, time is leaving us so fast. But I'll get to this, and then I'm not going to play this whole thing, but I do want to get to this, and then we can get to the some of the super chats, and then we'll be heading out. But yeah, so
well, that did not go well. TikTok CEO spent 4 hours being absolutely grilled by House lawmakers. Not one Democrat or Republican committee had one good thing to say about TikTok. Now, this is a long video, but if you care about this platform at all, I believe it's worth you hearing exactly what these lawmakers said in that chamber today. In the end, it appears TikTok has done something that no other company or individual has been able to do in a really long time: unite both Democrats and Republicans.
You have, in fact, been one of the few people to unite this committee, members, Republicans and Democrats, to be in agreement that we are frustrated with TikTok. We're upset with TikTok.
There was yelling.
When am I going to get paid for the data you're getting from my children, my grandchildren, my neighbors? I think that's the only way to get your attention, is talk about the money you're making, and maybe that'll get you all to do what you're supposed to do.
Interruptions?
Have you directed them to change that source code?
Congressman, if you give me a bit of time to just...
No, hang on. Hold up. There's no pause button. But Sabby, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
No, and I'm sorry if he's talking about when is are his kids or grandkids or whatever going to get paid from the data that's being accessed by them using that app. Isn't this why we have said constantly, Jaybe, that Google?
I'm out.
And
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done, Sabs.
That Google and all of these other like, it should be a public utility. Didn't we argue about this before? Because these applications do not exist without our data. That includes Twitter. Like, all these applications, they don't exist without our data. So I'm sorry, but why are they acting like this is only an issue with TikTok? All of these applications access our data and we're not getting paid for them accessing our data. So is he going to argue for some type of socialism? Is he going to say that these apps should be public utilities? I thought he was against that.
Yeah, I thought they were. And it's funny how they apply this to TikTok, but yet, I'm sorry, but what about the data that YouTube has of ours? What about the data that Snapchat has, or Instagram, or Facebook?
I don't see him asking Google for any money.
Yeah, where's my check? Good God.
Well,
that's the only way to get your attention is talk about the money you're making, and maybe that'll get you all to do what you're supposed to do.
Interruptions?
Have you directed them to change that source code?
Congressman, if you give me a bit of time to just...
No, I don't. It's a yes or no question. Have you directed your engineers to change that source code?
I'm not sure I understand.
Why are you allowing TikTok to continue to have the capacity for censorship?
Democrats and Republicans refuse to believe that TikTok can separate itself from its Chinese-based owner, ByteDance.
TikTok surveils us all. And the Chinese Communist Party is able to use this as a tool to manipulate America as a whole. We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values. Your platform should be banned.
But it isn't just the China issue they're concerned about. They're concerned about data collection, algorithm manipulation, content suppression of minorities, the targeting of underage users, mental health, social media platforms. But when the TikTok CEO tried to bring that up to defend this company, he was repeatedly shot down. But he did get one good dig in at Facebook.
With a lot of respect, American social companies don't have a good track record with data privacy and user security. I mean, look at Facebook and Cambridge Analytica. Just one example.
Now, for those of you who are new to congressional hearings, this type of behavior from lawmakers, where they interrupt the witness or don't let the witness answer fully, is totally normal. I'm not saying.
Now, I'm going to stop there because, time constraints. But look, Sabby, you know this just as well as I do. Whenever the Democrats and the Republicans actually come together publicly, what is it for?
China.
Yeah. Or it's usually to screw us over.
China and money. So when people make statements, and people have been making these statements recently, they're like, the Republican, they're anti-war now. Remove Ukraine and insert China, and you'll see they're not.
Yep. Thanks to Joker for the $5 super chat. Says side load the app and use a VPN to get around TikTok ban in America. Thank you. Appreciate it. VPNs are, yeah.
No one is being forced to download this app.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah. They're not holding our thumbs hostage, people.
But if you get an Android phone, if you get a, like a Samsung, if you get an Android phone, guess what? Google is already there.
Yeah.
It's already part of the phone. You don't have a choice. You can't remove Google. I don't see Google in that hearing.
Nope. And they should be. Alphabet should definitely be in that hearing. Let me check. Let me see. Okay. And let me go to, I'm going to read this really quick on Rockfin. This is from Roger. And then after this, then we have to cut off. Thanks for the tip on Rockfin. Roger says worker co-ops are the only way you're going to thwart automation and manufacturing jobs back and get manufacturing jobs back. Larry Sharp said on his show that it's not the real problem with TikTok. This is the problem with the elites and the rest of us. TikTok, if you get rid of it, you'll probably get Gen Z civil unrest and you'll never, like you never seen before. I don't know if he was joking or if he was serious. Yeah, basically the exact same thing that Sabby and I were saying, Roger.
I just have the TikTok song stuck in my head now.
So Sabby, what's going on with you tonight?
Yeah, so I have a special premiere tonight, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. I did an in-person interview with John and Gabriel Shipton. That's Julian Assange's brother and father. So I got to meet them in person. So that's really cool. So don't miss that. And that's pretty much it for tonight.
All right. And I will be doing my readings on my channel. I'll be continuing with Asada Shakur's autobiography, as well as I'll be continuing with the book Laziness Does Not Exist by Dr. Devon Price. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. We're going to have to make it a little bit of a short one, but take care, everybody. And deuces, Bruces.
Tick-tock on the clock, but the party don't stop, no. Oh, 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 oh. Stop it.